Hi! Go on, you can start this one if you want.
Hello, and welcome back to TheDoorTalks. Today we're doing...
Okay, it's been possibly like 4 years, maybe. We're finally
since the last one of these?
No, since we started.
Oh, yeah.
We're finally finishing off the Baby Carts and Lone Wolf and Cub. Well, 6. It feels like I've not done this in like 55 years.
What is cheese? Where does it go?
Right, look, we're going to spoil this whole film throughout and probably just struggle to remember how to do this.
And all the ones that were previously gone are out of our minds.
Yeah, I can remember little pieces, right?
Yeah, there was a few callbacks in this, actually. They were like, oh, you used the mirror on my brother.
Ogami Ito and his son Daigoro.
Yeah.
He was the executioner for the shogunate.
Yeah.
But now is it a new shogunate that's basically taken over?
Yeah.
I want him dead.
And basically he was sort of set up by the
Yagyu clan. And then there's been...
Who are
not called the
Yiga clan.
Yeah. And
every single time.
Kurikawa. They're not called the Kurikawa clan. But there's a place in Japan called Kurikawa, and now there's something like Kurikawa.
Right, yeah.
But basically, they've been trying to kill him, and Retsudo, I think it's Retsudo, is the main leader of the Yagyu clan. And he's basically just wants to kill Ito. All of these films, I always feel they start off really simple. Well, actually, after the first one, I'm like, oh, actually, it's really simple. Because usually the plots are like, you have to go here, then you kill this guy, and then this guy's going to say this. No, actually, this whole thing's happening. Whereas this one started off, as I always think, very, very simple. It's like, oh, it's just... So the Yagyu clan, the last daughter, or legitimate daughter, because there's a daughter later on, who's a knife thrower, and they do that thing where it's like, we're going to make you kill 3 of our best soldiers to prove in front of us, even though we already pretty much know, sort of in front of the shogun, I think, to prove she's good enough to send after Ogami. Yeah. So she kills 3 people. She juggles the knives.
The thing is, right, so the first kill, it sort of like cuts to and there's a knife in this guy's head.
Yeah.
But that second guy was just watching her, and she just does the exact same thing again, really.
But it's the one where
there's one where she jumps over his head, and she has to do 2 knives, and then she has to run to him. But the second guy gets got in exactly the same way as the first guy.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the same head as well. They're just cutting to.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
But it starts off with so literally old man Retsudo is his last hope. It's his last daughter to send, and I kind of thought, well, there's no one else.
Turns out there is.
Yeah, there is
several.
Yeah, there's several. He's been around.
Yeah,
but he basically sends her. I saw this maybe 4 or 5 days ago, so it's
loose.
It's
and I saw
loose.
it 5 minutes ago, and I've forgotten my notes.
Yeah, so he just sent his daughter, juggles daggers. His daughter's called Kaori or some bollocks.
Yeah.
And the Kurikawa, so he's like, speaks to the Kurikawa clan. They'll tell you where Ogami is.
Yeah.
And they leave signs, so little on like random things.
Weird things like on dollies and stuff like that. And on people's neckerchiefs that just say like the cub is in the room or something like that. And it's like, why? I don't know. It's worse.
So she sort of follows the messages, but then I was like, well, what are the chances you're going to see that or that thing might move?
Yeah.
All these films have been quite similar tone throughout. So I'm going to skip to my whole everything. So before I watched this, I'll be honest with you, I heard this was the worst one because 1, the manga it's based on wasn't finished when this was filmed, and 2, it was basically just it ends. It's very unfinished. The ending, it just sort of goes as if there's going to be next week, but it never happens. But the real difference with this one was it was quite creepy and supernatural, and I really liked that, and I wasn't expecting it. And pretty much from the start, there's like this weird. I know the odd ones have had their weird little bell chimes and little weird look at the bamboo moving around or whatever. But it had a very different tone.
It was much more supernatural. You couldn't really explain anything that happened with it in this world. You know, like a guy's in a box for like 42 days. And he's living in that underground for 42 days, and they're still alive.
The zombie guys,
the zombie guys.
I'm just the worm snake man. Like,
the worms. No, they're the same zombie guys. Because there was. The 3 zombie guys were the same as the caterpillar.
Yeah, but there was also loads of other snake men who were just normal blokes, but they could just...
No, I thought that was just exclusively the zombie men. Anyway.
No, because there's loads of them later on, when Ogami's stuck in the thing and you can just see them like blobbing around.
But usually, each one of these normally is, right, Ogami uses his little machine in a certain way, or he comes across someone else who's got a slightly different weapon, and each time it's a different weapon, it's some claws, maybe it's something else, maybe it's a big stick, or maybe he finds another samurai who's a really, really good fighter, but it's actually very... he's a nice one this time, and it's a sad time that he has to kill him. But this one had like a proper like sort of like thriller undertone of like he's being chased, and it was kind of like scary.
It
I was
was.
like for the first time I actually kind of felt a bit of a threat because he was completely powerless because they keep killing all these people around him. So basically, he was a ghost moving through these towns, and it was just it was really good.
Well, basically, he fights the girl with these things, and basically kills her like straight away.
Yeah,
like he doesn't have any
really
trouble. So I was a bit
like it never really is.
He kills the girl. There's a bit where where they're at this like I think it's like a graveyard or something, and he just machine guns all the walls.
The wall, yeah.
And then there's people who crumble out of the walls. Who look like... First I thought, they're behind the walls and he shot through them. But no, it's like they were in the mortar.
Yeah,
baked
fully made
into the walls. How long... And the walls were like painted.
Well, that's the thing, these people can live forever.
But that was before we'd even got... These were the Yagyu clan people.
But still, the Yagyu clan.
At the start, it's just the Yagyu clan and maybe some Kurokawa clan. They're the only ones involved.
Right, and then there was the other...
But yeah, he just goes and all like water.
Well, it was very watery paint, yes.
But I was like, have those people been baked into the walls?
Right, okay. There was a shot during this whole thing where definitely the kid got stabbed in the head. Like, there was a sword that went into something that... Yeah.
That's it, so Ogami uses his sort of Daigoro as a human shield.
That's the flashback.
That's it.
That's the flashback that you're saying. Because that must have been a flashback because it sort of like showed originally from the old film. Because it looked really out of place and much darker.
Is it?
I mean, maybe.
No. I think... But it did look like his kid got killed.
Yeah.
And I was like, Daigoro's dead.
And I was like... What?
I'll put these scenes here, guys.
He's like, I'll just protect him with my...
She's like, I can't believe you use your own son. And then he's like, we would have chosen the path.
Yeah, well, we're both going to die, so...
We'll just die. Retsuno's last heir is dead, this girl, and he's very embarrassed in front of the shogun. It's like, this was his last chance, and they're obviously everyone's just incredibly embarrassed with the whole situation.
Right, so they go to his other son. He's got another son. You find out
the thing is,
straight away as soon as they die, they were like, right, we're fucking off to this other place, and they were right over to this other son in the mountains.
This is where it actually gets supernatural.
Yeah, this is where it starts becoming different from the other ones. What is going on? They were looking at that sign and they were talking, and he goes, basically, and then it all goes all mirrory and weird. Yeah. But were they coming out of the mountain?
Basically, Retsuno's got a legitimate son where he's like, if you do this, you're basically back in the family. Like, you whatever. It's not Jon Snow, it's Ramsay Bolton. You're not a bastard anymore.
Yeah.
But then the son's just like, no, fuck you. I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, is he dead? Is he mystical? They look at this big like tablet kind of wall. Or
yeah, that's what I mean. And it all goes all like, and he's like some like heads, like his pokey little Ku Klux Klan heads were poking out.
But some of them look like, look, I drew a little Batman there. Sometimes because they were like this, but they were like folded, and sometimes it looked like they were Batman ears. But basically, his clan, he's called Hayo or something. Yeah. And he's got his own clan already, and he's like, I don't give a shit about the Yagyu clan. I'm gonna win.
I kind of like him.
Yeah, I
kind of respect him.
Aside
from I kind of
yes,
liked him all the way up to the point. And I was like,
you got
okay.
Also, that actor, he's in a few Kurosawa films. He was like. I very rarely recognise. Actually, someone else recognises him, but yeah, he's in a few. He's like in High and Low and stuff. But basically, he's like, I don't care. I'm going to be friends with the Shogun. I'm going to do this impossible job, and I don't care about my dad because he's not loved him for his whole life. And then suddenly he turns up, going, "You need to kill this man."
I hear you're pretty spooky, and you're pretty good with
he's super
with caterpillar men.
So what they do is, he has these kind of Batman caterpillar men who can literally just go like a street shark. They just burrow into the ground. And they can just go along.
Where's
like
it all
snakes.
going? Are they eating the floor?
I don't know. Because nothing comes out behind them.
Moles, like they're just. It's so confusing.
There's bits where it's like in the sand and stuff, and it will be creepy because you can see like, or the mud, and it will like bubble up a little. It's the tone is basically. I was like, I wish we'd had supernatural stuff from the first film. Yeah. I was like, this is really cool.
I mean, do you think the manga kind of continued on this weird sort of supernatural
because it's
kind
such
of thing?
Random term where it's like, oh shit, there's that. So basically, Hayo or Hayo, I was calling fucking Hayo. He's like, also I've got these zombie mates. So he resurrects these three guys.
Also, by the way, I've got these zombie mates. Yeah. Wait, does he not do that in front of his dad?
No, because his dad's fucked off.
Oh yeah, he's fucked off.
Yeah. So he resurrects these three guys. Did you recognise one of the guys?
One of them looked very smiley.
Yeah, I was like, the smiley guy is the gunslinger from the other episode. Do you know the guy with the guns who gets his guns wet? and it's like, yes, it's him. I want to say one's called like Mungo something, and
I don't remember the
they've
names.
got funny names. Like,
Right, okay.
I can't remember.
Funny
It's
zombie
Mungo.
names.
I feel like it's not Mungo. But
Are they different beans?
whatever. There's the 3 dead guys, and they're just somehow immortal. Ogami's got zombies. Now, this is my favourite part of the film.
Right.
So then it cuts to Ogami, who knows nothing of all these zombies. He's just walking down a road,
Yeah.
and this woman walks past him, and she's like, "Oh, my cute little child, here's like some sweets." And straight away I'm like, well, she's obviously a killer. Anyone who goes near him,
Oh, here's a little whistle.
Yeah.
No, it's a little whistle.
It was
a
a
little snake whistle.
Yeah.
And it
So
was quite
then
cool to it.
she kind of walks ahead, and at the back, there's some guy walking with like a flag or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she walks ahead, and then she like bends down to like tie a shoe. And then this fucking rocket or something. It just explodes her. And then Ogami sort of looks round, and obviously it must have been the guy behind him.
Yeah.
But he's just gone. And Ogami's like, okay.
I was
But
like,
this woman just explodes into a million pieces. But it's like a
Spontaneous
rocket.
combustion.
But it's like a rocket. But you can see that no.
I know, yeah, I
So
know.
it's like
But
a
does Ogami
rocket.
see that? Is he just like, fucking hell, that woman just
It just
exploded?
exploded. So then there's this happy guy giving out more sweets and stuff and dancing like a clown.
Not
bloke.
giving them out, he's selling them.
Yeah.
He's
But
selling
it's like
them.
all the kids are happy, everyone's lovely. Ogami buys, one's like, that's gonna be poison. I always just assume
Yeah,
every single
everything's
thing.
poison, yeah.
And then they go off to like a river to wash or whatever, and then you see the guy. Is this guy's head in his hat or something? The
No,
hat
I think
goes-
it's his hat with his
blood.
hand in his
Yeah,
hat,
something
or
like
something
that.
like as if like he was handing out the sweets in the hat.
Yeah. So basically, these zombie guys who can float.
Wait,
like, there's a bit where they're like floating in the bamboo,
Oh right, yeah.
and they
yeah.
go wherever you go. There's people, innocent people will die.
Oh, wait, no, but you're missing it. You're missing a bit.
How sad.
The
He always
house.
says how sad. What house?
The house. You're missing. So Ogami then goes after that, and he goes to this inn, and this really nice couple.
Oh yeah, sorry, but that's
are there.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
So yeah, and this really nice couple are there, and they're like, "Well, we don't have much money, but you can take what you can." And I was like, "You're too fucking nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna die instantly."
But to be fair, I don't think
then it
Ogami
turns
knows
out-
at that point that everyone he speaks to will die.
No,
He's
he
happy,
doesn't.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
he keeps seeing it. But then, and then, basically, these people are so far too nice. And then, did you see also the hand that was trying to like grab the? They're like, "Come in,
Are they
but
all-
don't worry, I'll take your little cart." And then there's this hand that just pops out the ground, and he's like, "Ah."
Oh,
and then
no,
trying
yeah,
to take
yeah,
the
yeah.
hand.
Oh
But
no,
what was he-
because they
but
didn't
what was
say
he
so the
hoping
street,
to
because the
do?
street shark.
What was he
includes
hoping to
the
do?
thing,
Just
yeah,
like, no, I want the trolley.
Yeah.
I want the cart. I want the baby's cart. Anyway, and then she goes off. Is like, I'm gonna bring you some water.
Yeah.
And then she comes back, and then she's got an arrow through her neck.
Yes.
And then he goes out, and there's about 25 other people.
Yeah,
there,
and they're all like pinned to the
hanging,
ceiling, like.
how many? Does his the reason why his family hasn't got much is because they've
There's
got two rooms in an Airbnb. 25 mouths to feed.
Yeah, but it could be guests.
Thing.
So basically, yeah. Then he finds out the zombies are like, oh,
Well,
sad.
because he shoots in the wind, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He shoots into the bamboo, and they're like just floaty.
Yeah, and it's basically whoever you meet.
The
will
house
die.
acting was quite funny.
Yeah,
as
how
well, so-
sad.
Obviously not said in English.
So they're floating around. Just with regards to the baby cart, I kind of wish now, because we're coming to the end of this series, that he lost the guns. 'Cause
Yeah,
I love them. Remember the first time he just has a revolver before he gets the guns on his car?
Mm.
At the end of that film, he shoots that guy and he's like, fucking hell, he's got a revolver.
Yeah.
And in the next film, he's like, the whole...
Now I've made this into
somehow
a Gatling
he
gun.
learns a thing and then he
Yeah.
adds it to the thing. But then I kind of wanted it so after that one, it just breaks.
Yeah.
Because it was very
it was
heavy.
too good.
And I know he's not a samurai anymore, but it felt very just like... Not an honourable, but it's just like, I'm just going to machine gun everything.
Yeah,
It's just like...
and also he seems to just have it always in one place, and he's just like, "Come on, get into the line of the machine," and everyone's just going
running
into
into it. And then
it.
sometimes, like, Daigoro, machine gun, but other times Daigoro's not even in it.
Yeah, and it's
machine
still
gun.
just like machine gun.
What
It's like,
does
if you
Levis
can
even
handle
do
it yourself, why are you telling Daigoro
But I
to
just
do it?
wanted... I don't know, it was just too much of it.
Yeah, no, there was a lot.
It just felt a
more
bit
of it.
lazy, where it's just like, we've got these... Randomly, some guy wants him to do a job. So he goes to this quite... I liked all this, but it's this cool little house on like a
Oh,
river.
it's useful, that wasn't it?
And this guy meets him and he's like, look, I'm really, really sorry, but I know I want you to do a job. I'm cancelling it. I feel really bad. Here's some money. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very... And he's like, just tell me why. He's like, just tell me why you cancel. No. But when the guy got into the little house, he got there by boat.
Yeah,
he stepped on his sword.
Yeah.
He like used it as a little ladder.
Yeah.
So Ogami's like,
and I actually thought at the time, I was like, that's a pretty cool way to get.
It is, but it's odd.
Yeah.
Because your sword's your most
your love,
thing.
it's your soul, it's your heart.
So Ogami's like, you're full of shit. You're not a samurai because you stepped on his sword. Who are you? And he's Heio, isn't he?
Yeah, he is Heio. I have to say, this was... I was like, oh, I think it's Heio. But like, this was way into it. I was fully listening to this guy. I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's got.
And he seemed so nice.
Yeah,
and he was like
I was
trying to be really accommodating.
Heio got me.
Then obviously all the kind of street shark guys appear, but some of them were like crawling sideways.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Some of them were upside down. There was a lot more of them than I thought there would be.
It was creepy. It was all sort of moonlit.
Yeah,
and how they were moved around. It was just very supernatural weird.
These ones weren't that supernatural, I didn't think. I thought they were more ninja-y, these ones. And obviously he used this little bear claw thing to go and swing across. Also, he proper just leaves Daigoro everywhere now. Yeah, Daigoro's just like, he's like, if you can't run away,
people look at him and he's like, he's got the look of a warrior.
The little kids.
People always seem a bit scared of
Daigoro.
Daigoro.
They do seem a bit... He's a freak.
Ogami just kills all these street shark guys, basically. Absolutely destroys them. Right. There's only a couple left. Cancel it. It's a trap. I don't like how they move. There you go. Clearly, it was obviously weird.
Yeah. Also, so he sort of runs across.
That's it. He's running away from that, and he gets stuck in the mud.
Yes.
And then, but the street shark guys are going through the mud, and he's sort of surrounded.
To be honest, I think he was fucked anyway without the street shark guys. There was
he was going to die then.
He was
going to die. It's a bit funny because it's like, we've got to do the samurai code. But then other times, it's like, I'm going to machine you to bits. So he's basically going like, well, look, if we're true warriors, we need to have a duel. No one else involved. So he's like, oh, guess so. Guess I'm going to fight the best sword guy in the fucking world. So Heio has a fight in some field, and Ogami basically just trounces him. But doesn't kill him.
He sort of like cuts into the back of his neck.
Yeah, and he's like, let me leave, which he normally doesn't do. Normally he'll just kill. Well, it's rare he lets people live.
I think also the guy kind of sort of respected his kind of wishes, if you know what I mean. Like, Ogami sort of says at the time, it's like, you actually didn't need to do any of this.
Yeah.
You didn't need to offer me a thingy, but you did do it, blah, blah, blah. So I actually kind of respect you. And he said, well, okay, well, don't kill me yet. Let's just see each other in a few weeks.
Yeah, and he's like, your dad's a dickhead. I've met him loads of times.
Yeah, and he's like, I hate my dad too, mate. Yeah, it's fine.
Because it's all this one was a lot of just family drama. Like, and Ogami was just caught in the middle. So the guy, this is where it gets very weird. Because I was like, well, this whole film has not had any normal sexual assault stuff going on. Because to be fair, there's only one woman at the start and she just got murdered straight away. That's fine. So the guy's been great.
And the nice woman that gets rocket launched.
Oh, yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
So then, so the guy gets completely destroyed, but is still alive by Ogami. He's like, put me on a cart. Send me straight to Retsuo's other illegitimate, because he's got a lot of illegitimate children. So his sister's having a bath.
It's his. So
it's one of his other kids.
But it's his full sister, though.
No, because
it's his full sister.
No, but as in, his full sister, but not Retsuo's, like, official children.
No, still not official children, but his still full. So they're both the bastards from the same mum.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So he just runs all the way home. She's in the bath. She's like, brother. And it's like, oh, hi.
No,
right, I'm going to die.
He's not so like, she's not like, oh, hi, brother. Yeah. She's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's shocking. He's like, right.
But also, he gets everyone to like run him back on this little car. And he's like dying there, lying on his face, just like getting knocked around. And he's just there like, and he's like, save my energy. I need to rape my sister when I get home. Sorry, can't say that word. But I need to boop my sister.
He's basically like, take my seed. And I just thought it was silly.
Oh, yeah, it was bear my seed. Yeah,
bear my seed.
I didn't realise bear was spelled that way. I always thought it would be...
I just thought it was silly because it's like, have my children, like, I'm going to die, you've got to continue life. And I was like, your kids aren't going to grow up old enough, they'll be too...
Yeah. They need to kill Daigoro.
Ogami's going to die of old age. Yeah. It's like, quick, we've got to have sex right now to have kids. To
pass it on the line. He'll own the zombie people. Yeah. He'll own the caterpillar zombie people.
So the zombies are still in play. They're just hiding at the moment. They're underground somewhere. Yeah. So he obviously starts trying to with his sister, who's not particularly happy about the whole thing. And he's bleeding everywhere. And then Retsuo comes and he's like,
well, no,
my stupid kids.
The thing is, the issue is, sorry, this is maybe a bit too graphic for thingy. The issue is that he actually fucks her and penetrates her. And then that's
Oh
why
no, and
she
says,
says,
she says, we
I'm
become
now
beasts.
fucked.
Yeah,
I'm
we
now
become
fucked.
beasts.
I have lost all my honour, so kill us both.
Yeah. So the dad comes in just going,
and he's like, yeah, okay,
oh, fucking
that's
hell,
fine.
like these stupid kids. So they get skewered basically, and Retsudo's like, fuck's sake, I'm gonna take. And then he's like, I'm gonna take over Heyo's clan, and they're like, no. He's like, He's like, you're my zombies now. And they're literally like, no, we're our own zombies.
Yeah.
Like,
Inheritance doesn't go that way. You don't inherit up.
Yeah. So the zombies. So then they're suddenly in some sort of desert.
Yeah.
Well, snow.
No, it's the snow. It's the snow.
The zombie guys are on top of a hill. To me, I was like, are these zombies from the guys from the second film? Do you know where it's like the 3 straw hat guys?
No, because he makes the igloo. Oh yeah. So
Maybe.
he kills. No, so they all go to him.
The zombies,
and it's in the snow, and that's why it's all frozen. That's why they.
But it's very dark. Yeah. It's like
dark
at night
and they're in the snow. Yeah.
And he's
so
like 3
so
zombies.
Yeah,
so he machine guns them, but they just stand there and they don't give a shit.
No, they don't. They're like on the floor because they're all in. They're in like
they're bleeding.
They're in the weird little pillowcases. Yeah, but they bleed out the little pillowcases. They're in the little pillowcases, just like that, just whirling around doing.
Zombie.
What's
snow, street sharks, cool ground effects, squirming in duvets. Yeah, they are just
What's that Frank Reynolds and Charlie Day game that they play? Like
Nightcrawlers.
Yeah, it's like they're playing Nightcrawlers.
So they're in
Intervention! It's nothing private, Frank!
squirming around, but they get machine gun because there's loads of blood. There's 100% blood because I put Immortal.
And then they come up and then they throw off the machine gun and they get in a little line and they're all bleeding and they're all melting and they're like the snow.
So Agami's just in his car. He's standing in his car. One guy just runs. Agami stabs straight. Obviously, he just basically runs onto a blade. The other two come either side. And he goes click click. And a blade. And it's like you didn't need.
So they all get stabbed in pretty much the same place.
Yeah.
And they all have their swords right above their heads.
They just instantly die.
And they get stabbed just there.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, now I can't move. Even though I just got machine gun to fuck. For some reason, this is completely
and they've already died at some point.
Me.
Yeah.
Like I can't even swing my arms down.
I forgot about the duvet. Well, I've obviously written it, but the duvets.
The duvets were horrific.
But yeah, they were just in a line. It's very...
Well, they did the line thing. I think that confuses them. I think they're all psychic. They can communicate with each other, so they all know what they're doing. It's a lot of like set piece routines, isn't it? Like everyone seems to have their little set pieces. Like, right, well, I'm going to hope that he's not going to put his child on his shoulders. And I'll do the same thing that I do, and I'll do it again, and I'll keep doing the same thing. Anyway, very, very silly. Daytime snow.
Daytime snow. He's shooting down the thing, and then basically Retsuo has his own little cart. Yeah,
so Retsuo, I think he really was very jealous of Thingy's cart, so he decides to make his own. And
he has a little driver
cart. And he's his little right hand man as well.
Yeah.
He's been around it the whole time, and so I think, but then kind of like. It's kind of a bit sad because do you think anyone sort of like went, wait, so who's driving the cart? And he's like, well, I'm driving the cart because I'm behind. It's like, but the other guy's sort of controlling the cart. So is he really like, is he like the little baby? And he doesn't realise that actually he's the little baby in the car. And he's like, and it's so stupid, yeah.
But basically, the Yagyu clan, I think some Kurokawa clan are there, and also some of the snake people, 100% there.
No, the snake people are dead.
No. The zombie ones were, but the people from that clan with their Batman hats, 100% the Batman hats
were
there.
Maybe they just reused the same
So
ones.
there's just like a big ski chase for ages. Loads of the guys had really modern skis, like proper ski boots, basically.
They tried to like put brown wax on the bottom to make it look really old, they were like
someone like red,
someone like blue. They looked really good. They were hoping that wouldn't show up, but on our Criterion Collection remaster, it showed up.
I could see everything. Also, the Retsudo's moustache, that bit in the middle, like you could just see clearly.
I mean, you can Ito's sideburns,
but that I could really see. But yeah. So there's kind of like pike guys. First, it's like some skiers who throw sort of pikes.
They don't throw pikes. They throw their ski poles,
ski
and they just hit the floor like ski poles would.
Also, Agami's thing suddenly has like these flaps that cover up Daigoro. I guarantee that was so they didn't have to have the kid in the cart.
Yeah,
because it kind of goes flap, which they've never used before.
Because obviously because there is a point later on when they're fully just flying down a mountain.
They're going really fast, and you can see it. So Agami, I was like, God, this looks really dangerous.
And he's like standing on top of something, just sort of like holding a rope, and all the skiers are like skiing.
There's a bit where two skiers come in next to him and they get both his arms on like these. He's just like this going down, and he's going like minimum like 15, 20 miles an hour just down a fucking hill.
It did look very slow at some points. It was like the slowest chase
Oh,
scene.
at some point I was like, how long's this mountain? Because literally it's like the longest run you've ever fucking done. It was like 25 minutes.
But they all just had, like, how come they were all so trained in the art of, like,
skiing?
Sledding.
Yes.
There was sledding and skiing and all those things. Like, there was like a ski team, and then there was also a sled team, and then there was another ski team.
Yeah.
It was mad.
It was like Uncharted, wasn't it? The games where it's like, these guys will attack you next. And you kill
Oh,
those
yeah, it
guys.
was a bit like that, yeah.
So you machine gun some of them. One guy chops in half one of the skiers. I remember it was like
Yeah.
a proper, like, full-on
and then he's
torso.
like trying to get up as well. It's just,
Snake Men, modern skis. There was some sort of I put rocket skis here, but it was some sort of rocket something.
well, there was a lot of rockets going on. Like there was some people that the what is his name, little baby other in the other car.
The other man, yeah.
The other guy in the car, he was sending off some mortars, and I think there were rockets hitting around him while he was skiing down. And then, as soon as they got in distance, they stopped firing.
Definitely at some point, there's a bit where Ogami's like at the top of a hill, and I was thinking he's got the high ground, and then everyone else just sort of runs in. Because then he just goes, I'm sure he just goes down to using his
I think then he goes
and
into
just
chops
chops the last few people.
Yeah, and he gets the little knife and uses the knife quite a few times. And it was a good little fight scene. I have to say, it kind of went back to like its old sort of like, every single one of these we have to it's in a quarry. We started being in a quarry. It was a little bit different, and it was cool having like the little skidoos and things like that. But cool having the skidoos. But it was more interesting, seeing how Ogami could just absolutely like just slice these people up into bits.
Yeah, there was some good bits, but it did the whole annoyingly because I knew this was the series was meant to continue, and Retsuno's like him and his mate are like, let's just fuck off. So they just go off there over the hill. That's it. And Daigoro's in the sledge. He sort of tips over, and you're like, he might be dead. And then Ogami just kills whoever's left.
Yeah.
But it's very much not a big ending because really you want him to fight Retsuno at the end because everyone else is dead now. He's killed everyone in the whole family. Obviously, he might have loads of illegitimate children. I don't know. But it was a bit of a... But because obviously when they made it, they 100% thought that we were going to make another one.
Yeah.
It's not like they went, we'll just tack on an ending.
Yeah.
So it was a bit disappointing where it's like, that's the end.
Yeah, that was an issue. I have to say, like, there was a lot of things in here that I didn't realise he was, like, motivated by. You know, I always thought that he was sort of just wanting to get revenge, and he didn't really care about, like, clearing his family's name.
No.
There was a lot of clearing your family's name. And I didn't know if they were trying to, like, build it into be kind of like, oh, yeah, we kind of need to see an ending for these two people.
What, so for Ogami or for
killing?
I thought Retsuno was...
No, for Ogami. So Ogami, there was like a point when he's like, we're going to clear my wife and child's name and all our family's name. And I just thought we were kind of past that.
Yeah.
I thought they were just on their road to Hades. They didn't care who they killed. Yeah, they wanted to get revenge and they need to pay the way. But they just didn't really give a shit. They weren't going to kill themselves. They just wanted to just die by this anger and this vengeance, not die by like their own sword and then being chopped off.
Yeah, surely, I've not read the manga, please don't spoil this. I'm really tempted to read it now because I want to know what happens. Because surely he's got to fight Retsuno at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing kill the Shogun or get to there.
Yeah. I mean, would he want to kill the Shogun? That's the thing. But I suppose the Shogunate fucked him around. Maybe it goes Retsuno and then next time it's the Shogunate.
He's got to die.
How long is the manga?
I don't
Does
know.
it still? Is it how long?
No,
did it go on for a long time?
I think it finished in like.
But did it go on? All right, but it went on.
I looked
for a
on
while.
Amazon. And I think it was like maybe it was like 10 omnibus books.
Okay.
So there's quite a few.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was sort of very confusingly described. Baby Cart, fucking.
What was this one? Baby Cart, White Castle.
Whitehaven,
White Castle. Baby Cart and Carol and Kumar go to White Castle.
I've sort of enjoyed all the films. They've all got. This one was much more interesting than I suspected. I was like, the last one's supposed to be shit. But then I was just like, the supernatural elements and how they were done were really cool. But I was like, God, I wish we'd done some of this before.
Yeah.
Because it gets a bit boring doing the whole,
they
he's
did
a samurai,
every single
he's
time.
got a knife, he's got a claw hand that doesn't seem that interesting.
That's what I mean. Instead of it being like the weapon of the week, it was kind of like, oh, actually, there's a different kind of story and a different sort of torture and things like that. Like, instead of people going after him, I just liked how they went after all the people around him and he was just a ghost walking around these towns.
Yeah,
everyone was just dead.
I kind of wanted it so maybe to kill the zombies, he had to not get like a magic sword, but there'd be some kind of thing he has to do
just
it.
like decapitating them instead of just stabbing them in the stomach.
But it was just like,
it made more sense.
Yeah, it's just like, they're just blokes.
Yeah, and by the end of all those zombies, that last bit was really shit, to be honest. Like, as soon as the zombies sort of like, I mean, the way they died, and then after that, it kind of became back to the normal sort of standard way.
It just wasn't that interesting.
The zombies weren't really.
But I'm guessing maybe in the manga it's like, we're going to bring some light supernatural stuff. We can't just suddenly go fucking crazy. So let's start with this, and then each
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe we'll have a fucking dragon or something. I don't know, later on.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe we'll have a dragon.
Or something.
Maybe.
Or go to hell. Does he go to fucking, literally? Does he go to the underworld? I don't know. Like, what's the...
It reminded me of a lot
game?
of, like... I know, obviously, Usagi Yojimbo is probably definitely taken off from this manga, but when he was sort of, like, looking down the alleyway and there was all those floating people in the sky, it was very much like a Usagi Yojimbo manga. They're quite funny. They're sort of, like, stuff like that, like old folklore of, like, some, like, assassins taking over a town or whatever. Like, it's weird. But it was I would say maybe the second or third best one. I think the first one's very good, obviously, because it set it all up and it's like, it's got a big battle scene at the end, it's got really good bits, and the second one's good because of the three brothers with the different hands and the cool bits. But then this one had a different level that made it different to the other ones that I really enjoyed.
I like the one where the women cut up that man into loads of little pieces, but I can't really... They
that
merged
was like
together.
The third or fourth one.
The third or fourth one.
And there was one where the woman has the tattoo that she rips off her clothes.
I like that one. Also the one with I want to say it's called like Jubei or something. The one where it's the samurai guy who, when his emperor or whatever was being attacked, he ran ahead and killed loads of people, but because he shouldn't have left the emperor, even though he won the battle, he got like disavowed. In the end, Ogami kills him, but like it's like an honor killing. You know what I mean? Like an honor killing. Like it had a cool side story. Where this one was just like Retsuo going, shit, who have I got? Who's my kid, sort of?
Because I can't do it.
Yeah,
I've
I
not
can't
got
do
a cart.
But to be fair, I think maybe the last film or the one before it, he does fight Ogami and kick his fucking ass.
Does he?
He does. He really hurts him. And
really
hurts him. And then just fucks
off. Hurt me now.
So it's not like he's rubbish. He's not like an old man because he seems like pretty limber. Like I feel like he should have
Maybe he's just scared.
Yeah.
He's just scared. Maybe he just wants his kids to do it as well. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
But no, they were all enjoyable films. I do kind of want to watch Shogun Assassin.
Yeah, I mean,
like.
That'll be... I think there's bits of Shogun Assassin that aren't... I don't remember seeing in this when I originally watched Shogun Assassin.
Shogun Assassin not the first two films like mesh?
Or three films maybe meshed together. But there's certain bits that I just don't remember. But are we going to watch it's the dubbed version, isn't it? Shogun Assassin?
Yeah, I want to...
With the weird sounds. And we need to listen to Liquid Swords beforehand.
But I really enjoyed the whole series, but I say they've kind of melded together. It's very hard to think of which is the best one. But the first one, just because...
I don't know if it was the second one that had the three people, but I remember the
one
with the three people stood out to
the
me
straw
quite
hat
a lot.
guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted more... I don't know, the cart became a bit magic almost. You know what I mean? Whereas I liked it being...
The machine gun was just a step too far, I think.
And it was just...
when you reused it.
Where's he getting the bullet? Where's he getting all these bullets from? How's it sort of...
Yeah, what are these bullets? Where are you getting the gunpowder? Is gunpowder even a thing here?
Well, yeah, no, because to be fair, I did look. No, so revolvers and stuff. The skiing, they were too good. Those they were like
but like
Solomon
even any kind of skiing.
No, I think they did some kind of skiing, not like that. They were like proper full things. But I preferred it when the baby cart was just more like, oh shit, here's a new thing you can do. Whereas this was like, oh, let's just do the hits. Like
There was a lot of like kind of greatest hits throughout the whole thing. There was a few sort of like it was like taking you back and be like, oh, we killed this person. They did the mirror thing. Yeah. We killed this person. It's like, oh, do you remember when you killed my brother using the same mirror trick? I was certain Daigoro was dead. And I was like, he's dead. And then he came up and he waddled up.
And then he could have been a zombie or something like that. Suddenly they're just like,
also, quick little shout out to Daigoro in his little cute little outfit when he comes out from the snow and he's been buried underneath the snow.
Oh, his little
and then he falls over and then they're still like, keep rolling. He'll get up. You keep rolling. And Ito's just like, come on. And he's just like, I'll get myself up.
Because obviously I've heard that they made a TV show, and that's the reason why they didn't. The Tommy Sabaru, the main guy, didn't want to do any more films.
Yeah,
but I just feel like I don't know. Just
why would you need to make a TV show with it?
Well, I'm guessing it made money. I'm guessing if the film's successful, like we'll do a TV show. So obviously,
but why not just continue on with the film?
No, I think this might all be bollocks from YouTube, but I think he wanted to be the guy. So obviously, as in keep the films, but when you've got someone else playing your character, I don't know. It's like having James Bond and then going, well, we're going to have a TV James Bond as well. You go, well, that kind of dilutes what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Was it his son?
What do you mean?
Was Daigoro his son?
In real life?
Yeah.
No, they've got different surnames. I can't remember what it is, but it's different.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was very good. I don't want to give it a score. I don't think we give these scores.
I can't fucking remember.
I can't give these scores, but anyway, it was enjoyable, and I've enjoyed the entire thing.
Yeah, and they're just quick. All of them are like 83 minutes long, and they sort of fly by. It never feels like Ogami has an end game. It does feel like, I'm just working. I'm just doing assassin jobs, and that's it. And that, to me, that doesn't feel enough. It's like, well, what
are you doing today? What's this week's sort of like theme?
There's never like a ticking clock where it's like, shit, you have to go and rescue so and so, or you have to go and do this, or even you have to do this job, but you've got a time limit. It's always seems to be him, and everyone's just. It's like John Wick, or whatever. Everyone's just trying to kill him all the time, whatever he's doing.
But John Wick has like but I will need to go to Paris,
or
something like that.
I've got this much time.
You need to do something. Whereas we didn't even know until pretty much like 2/3 probably into it. It's like, oh wait, so he's actually on his way to a job, and he's actually had this job lined up for the whole time. Probably, maybe that's what he's on his way to.
It just I don't know. I am gonna at some point read the manga. I just want to find out what is the end game. It just needs. Yeah. That's the only thing that I think they needed. But it was just like a constant onslaught. Everyone's just trying to kill him all the time, and they could have mixed it up. I just remembered that one where that girl's going to be tortured or something, and he's like, I'll do the torture. Do you not remember? And he's like being hit with like bamboo and put in a really hot bath. Do you not remember?
That was it. And then Jaguar has to go and take care of him afterwards. And wraps his back
really
in bamboo.
Odd torture. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching 6 films of us just rambling, trying to remember what the hell's going on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.
See you in a bizzle. Bye bye.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.